Sweet Bear, I love you.
Good morning, Kansas Topecas and Costa Ricas. That's right, today is a travel vlog. Cue a classic airport sequence. Okay, so the reason for my travels is this weekend I am going to Pennsylvania to speak at a retreat. Right now, I am in DC on a layover, which are the worst. Not DC, but layovers. So I guess to have a little intermission here in the middle of my travels, let's do story time with Sweet Bear. The only problem is, Sweet Bear's not with me, Sweet Bear's at home in Chicago, but don't worry, we thought ahead and we kind of cheated a little bit. We filmed her story yesterday, so I apologize that part of today's vlog was actually filmed yesterday, but I think you'll forgive us.
Hi everybody, welcome to session 2 of Storytime with Aaron. On the last
Sweet Bear!
Oh dang it, Storytime with Sweet Bear. Last time everybody said they wanted either a pooping story or a relationship story, so we're gonna go with relationship.
We could do a
today.
pooping relationship story. Honeymoon.
Oh, well, we told the honeymoon on the last
Yeah,
one.
that's true.
Okay, so we'll save that one. Okay, so this story is how John proposed. So, I knew that John was gonna propose because we had kind of talked about a plan of getting engaged the summer of 2014 and getting married the summer of 2015 because we wanted a summer wedding and I definitely wanted a year to plan the wedding. All of that summer, I'm waiting, I'm getting my nails done every day, I'm buying new dresses and like getting dolled up anytime John says, let's go to dinner or something. And didn't happen. I am getting like really upset because one, it's just like, you know, you want it to happen. And two, it was coming to the point where I wasn't gonna have a year of engagement. And I felt like I needed that to plan. So one day John and I were talking and the show schedule for Mamma Mia was switching. Because of that, for some weird reason, he had 2 days off in a row, which like never happens. So John was like, I've got 2 days off in a row, let's go do something. And I was like, great. So we were like, maybe we'll go to the Jersey Shore, like we'll do this, we'll do that. And then John was like, yeah, and I was like, what are the dates? And he was like September 14th and 15th. And I was like, oh, that's Emma's birthday, my sister. And so I was like, let's go home and surprise her. And he's like, great idea. He's like, let me look up flights. And he says, you know, they're only like $200. It's really cheap. Like, let's book them. Great. So we're going home for my sister's birthday. And I wanted to surprise everybody. So I only told my mom and I didn't tell my brother, my sister, or my dad. And it was gonna be a big surprise for all of them. I get home that morning and my sister opens the door and she's so surprised, she starts crying. And then I go out to the backyard, my dad's there, he's so surprised, he starts crying. I'm like, oh my goodness, like we really got them. So anyways, then we go out to lunch, and at lunch for Emma's birthday, one of my best friends, Lauren, comes and surprises me. And she's like, I knew you were gonna be home, so I wanted to surprise you. I'm like, that's amazing. So then Emma was like, do you wanna go look at puppies? Because we love going to look at puppies, and we usually do that like on our birthdays. So we go to one puppy store, we're looking at puppies, sorry, this is really bumpy. And then she's like, Aaron, let's go to this other store because this store has Australian Shepherd puppies, which that is the kind of dog that John and I are gonna get. So I would have loved to go look at those. So I was like, let's go. So we get in the car and we're driving around. And then we make our way and I'm like, you guys, this is by the old Toka building. Well, the old Toka building is a school that we used to have rehearsals in for our theater company growing up. So then we start driving towards the Toca building, and we pull into the parking lot of the Toca building. And at this point, I'm like, oh, the puppy store must be behind the Toca building. And there's nothing behind the Toca building. It's a big field. So I don't know what I was thinking. And then they pull up, and Lauren and Emma say, okay, get out. And right then it hit me, and I knew that John was gonna propose, because John recreated our first date to propose. And our first date, he picked me up from rehearsal at Toca. So anyways, right at that moment I knew, and I started freaking out. It's like, sorry, we just had a moment. So he recreated our first date, and on our first date, he picked me up from that location from rehearsal. And to top it all off, my friend Lauren was there to like send me off on the date, which is the whole reason she was there that day. At this point, I know what's happening. I know he's gonna propose, and I know that he's recreating our first date, but I'm like, please don't do the ice cream part, because I was so nervous. So on our first date, we went for milkshakes at Oberweis, which if you don't live in Illinois, you probably don't know what that is, but it's an ice cream place. And he taught me how to play chess, because they have chess boards on their on their tables. And then we went to go on the swings at a park by his house, because I love going on the swings, so that's what we did. And so I knew that was happening. So we went to Oberweis, and we got milkshakes and like barely drank them because we were nervous, which is saying a lot for us. And then we went to our park, and this park, like, we went there on our first day, but it kind of became like our place. Like, we would go there every time we come home. It'd be kind of like where we would hang out. And when we got there, he walked over to like the swings, and he got down on one knee and proposed. And I always tell people, John's a very good speaker, you know, he's very good with his words, he speaks in front of people all the time, he's a writer, but he did not have a plan what he was gonna say to me, because everyone's like, oh, I bet it was like beautiful, but it was more like, I don't even know what he said. He was so nervous, but I thought that was cute that he didn't have like, you know, exactly planned out. So anyways, he proposed, and then he had a photographer there, and we took some pictures. Show him now. And then John's like, we gotta go. I'm like, where are we going? And we went back to my house, and all of my friends and family that were able to be there were at my house for a huge engagement party. It was amazing.
You should include that when you got the idea to go home.
Oh yeah, so then at the party, I was like asking John, like, okay, like, how'd you plan this? Did you plan it after? Well, John had it planned months beforehand, that he had 2 days off and we were going home. So he, like, we say he Walter Whited me, because he like totally tricked me and was like, I've got 2 days off, what do you want to do? And he made it my idea that I was like, oh, let's go home. And so he totally tricked me, but it was all planned out like far before.
And your family knew you were coming home.
Yep, everybody knew. So my dad and my sister like should win Oscars, because they both were like so surprised. But yeah, so that's our story of how we got engaged. I hope you guys like it. Now share in the comments what other stories you'd like to hear for the next session of Storytime with Sweet Bear. Love you guys. Bye. Bye.
All right then, that's the story for this week. As she said, comment below. Let us know what stories you want us to hear. I think Sweet Bear's so much better at talking to the camera than I am. She's so natural. She's so easy. She's so... I think this guy sat down just because he wants to be in the vlog.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to State College. The local time is about 3:13. We will be taxiing to the gate for the next few minutes, so please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and carry-on items stowed until the captain has turned off that fasten seatbelt sign.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet you, man. How are you doing? John, this is Chris.
Chris, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Come on in and check out my cabin.
Look at this place. Nice bed. Thank you, Second Presbyterian Church. Shout out for the blanket. And oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
This is bad news.